It's time for Expert Alert, your chance to ask questions and get answers from experts.
Well, good morning and thank you for joining us on all of our WLOX streaming platforms for this week's Expert Alert. Now, it's a little different today because we're so close to the holiday. We've pre-recorded this one, so we're not actually live. But if you are joining us on our Facebook page through our streaming platform there on Facebook, go ahead and ask questions if you want, and some folks will be there to answer your questions in real time from Tillman Services. That's what we're talking to today. We have Chance Tillman here with us. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for having me, Chet.
Absolutely. So today, I feel like we were just here a couple weeks ago talking about indoor air quality.
That's right.
And so today we're going to be talking about HVAC maintenance, which is, if you're not maintaining your HVAC, then it's not going to be there when you need it. And 90% of the year, we need it.
We need it. Definitely need it.
We desperately need it.
That's right. So 1/8 of an inch of dust on your blower wheel can increase your power bill by 20%.
Wow. Which is a big deal when your power bill is already $200.
Right. It's very important to maintain these units. You know, a lot of people say, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, these capacitors, these small run caps that push these fans, these big pieces of operating equipments, they have a range that they work in, right? So if they're at full maximum range, you're going to have a lower power bill. If they're at a lower range, you're going to have a higher power bill. Your unit's going to work harder, and it's not going to live as long. So what we do is we come out 3 times a year. We do 2 HVAC maintenances and 1 plumbing maintenance as part of our preventive maintenance package. It's $224 a year, and we'll come out 3 times. And what we do is we inspect everything. And we're not going to do anything without your approval, but we're just going to say, hey, this is the levels your unit's working at now. Kind of like when you go to the doctor and he just takes your blood pressure and he looks at everything. He says, hey, this is how you're looking. This is how everything's working internally. Just wanted you to know how we are. When we see things that are running lower or not as good as they should, we'll bring it to your attention, say, hey, this is what we recommend just to make your unit work better, live longer, and cost less. Right?
I mean, what are you looking at in terms of a brand new HVAC unit, inside and out?
So it's all about layers. You can get a system $20,000 put in your home, and it's going to have 10-year labor warranty, net peace of mind. You never have to worry about anything. Comes with all the indoor air quality stuff. Or you can go bare bones and just worry about that monthly payment and make your monthly payment about $125 a month. You know, we have levels to what we sell. The lowest package that we have is just, you know, the 10-year parts warranty, a 1-year maintenance contract with us, and that just bare bones in and out, right? I don't necessarily like that product because it doesn't have any value of security, right?
Sure.
With our larger packages, we're going to tie into that system with 3 to 4 years of preventive maintenance. We're going to put a 10-year labor warranty on it where the manufacturer puts 10-year parts and I'll put 10-year labor. So for 10 years, that's my baby. And I'm going to make sure it's running great in your house, and I'm going to clean it, and I'm going to service it, and I'm going to do everything that needs to be done for that unit. That does include 5 years of maintenance with our major package. So these manufacturers, they have fine print, right? And the parts warranty is void if you haven't had maintenance on that system, right? A lot of people don't know that. So if you're not tying in your maintenance program to that system, then whatever manufacturer you have doesn't have to validate your warranty for parts because you have done nothing to give that unit longevity, right?
Yeah, that was my next question. So if you're spending anywhere from 10 to 20, you could put $25,000 or $30,000 into an indoor HVAC unit, both sides, indoor and outdoor. So it makes sense to maintain it.
Right.
Right. So what it costs to the monthly, the annual fee or the monthly fee, it's worth it because you want that to be up and running when it feels like it's 120 degrees outside, or when it feels like it's 40 degrees outside.
That's right.
And and again, we're spending so much time in our homes. That's the last thing. I can deal with my stove or my refrigerator or the things that I need to eat not working because I can get that elsewhere. But like when I come home, I need that environment to be right, and it for me the HVAC unit is a large piece of that puzzle.
Yeah, you can't Uber Eats comfort, you know.
That's it.
So it's a big difference. And HVAC, plumbing, and electrical is the difference between a first and a third world country. I mean, those are luxuries that we need as Americans, that we want. I'm glad you brought up the home. So you spend so much time in your home, right? And that unit's running continuously inside your house, and you never service it. But you put 3,000 miles on your car, and you're getting an oil change, you're getting your tires rotated, you're cleaning the indoor air filter, hopefully, on your car to keep it running for a long time, right? We just want to do the same thing to that AC. You're sending the same type of investment on your air conditioner for your home, for your comfort, for your family, as you spend on that car. They're equal in my mind.
Sure.
You're spending just as much time in both of them. I feel like the home gets missed because they don't think about it. You just come home, it's comfortable, it's always been this way, we're used to it, right? Well, there's a machine that's working its tail off behind a closet door or in the attic or outside to keep you comfort, and it needs a little bit of love too, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like you get the dog groomed, you take vitamins.
That's right.
You do all the things. You get the oil change in the car, and it's like the one thing that it's because you don't see it here.
That's
like,
right.
Especially now, since we have these smart thermostats, mine knows when I walk in the door. And I have my thermostat set higher when I'm not at home, so it's not running when I'm not there. And so it knows when I am not very far from home, and it'll crank the air on before I walk in the door because it knows that I'm there. It's like they're so good at knowing what we need when we need it, except for when it's time to maintain it.
Right.
A lot of times they don't tell us, change your filter, you're low on Freon. It doesn't tell you all the things that it needs to tell you. You just think it's working in the background. And that may not necessarily be the case.
And I like the programmable thermostats. I think that's a great way to go. And when we do these preventive maintenances, we'll always give you some type of ideas while we're there. Hey, this is a way to make it a little bit better. Hey, we noticed this was going on. But programmable thermostats, like you say, there's no reason to keep your house at 69 degrees at 12 o'clock and you're in Pascagoula, on the job site, right?
Sure.
There's just nobody's there. It's pointless to do that. So if you're able to Wi-Fi to your thermostat, I forgot to turn that down this morning, or you set a program where it just automatically does it, it's going to save you a lot of money. It's really going to save the longevity of that unit also if it doesn't have to work so hard. I never recommend turning them off just because you need that air movement, circulation in your home just for mildew. I'll always go back to that. Stagnant air is deadly air. So I don't like turning them off, but turn them up to a higher set number. Like Mississippi Power recommends whatever the outdoor temperature is, you don't go above or below 20 degrees, right? So if it's 98, you should have it at 78. If it's 48, you should have it at 68, right? So they want you to stay in that range, and that's how you're going to be most effective on your power bill, right?
Is it fair to say that the bigger the HVAC unit, the better?
No. So we want units to have the proper runtime. So if I can put 10 tons in your air and I can cool it down in 10 minutes, great, it's cool, but you still have humidity. So humidity or dehumidification is a byproduct of AC. It's not the main goal of air conditioning. Air conditioning is literally we're removing heat from the air, pushing it outside, because there is no such thing as cold. It's the absence of heat. You take away the sun, the universe is cold. That's the state of that's the normal state of everything. So air conditioners is literally removing heat from the air. In South Mississippi, a big way to do that is by removing moisture from the air. But once we hit that set temperature, we're not going to continue to wring that moisture out. So that's when you really need a dehumidifier. It's a different piece of equipment that's going to get that done.
I wouldn't have thought of that. This is why he's the expert on Expert Alert. I didn't think that you're just taking the heat out of the air.
Right.
That makes perfect sense. So what about, let's go back to setting your thermostat. What if, especially not right now because it's not the summer, but when you get into the summer, emergency cool, or getting it, like setting it too high brings it back, you got to bring it back down to a low number a lot faster. Like, so is that bad for the system if you got it set very high when you leave and then having to get it back down to 70 when you walk in if you have it set at like 85?
If you're in the middle of August, it's probably going to have a hard time to achieve that, right? Because just it's so much. So I tell people like this, when that unit's off, we've allowed the enemies now in the gate. In the gate being in our exterior walls, our windows, our French doors, our seams. We're allowing that heat, that moisture to seep into the sides. We've allowed the enemies in the gate. How much harder is it now to fight those enemies back outside of our insulation, our gate, and keep our house where we want it? Running it up way too high just is the same as turning it off. If you go up a couple degrees, if you know, hey, I'm a 72 degree guy, I love it 72, I'm going to leave for the day, 75 is your number, right? You go up a couple, 3 degrees. When you get home that afternoon, you can have it back there. Or if you get a programmable stat, you know you're going to be home at 5 every day, it can start 2 o'clock trying to get that where it's comfortable when you get home, right? And you can program that to where it's adapting to your lifestyle instead of you trying to adapt to the way it operates.
What about closing air vents in rooms that you don't frequently use?
That's a big no-no. So static pressure is designed, airflow. The reason Tillman says we're the one is because 5 out of 10 are going to be installed with poor airflow. 4 out of 10 are going to be installed with the wrong refrigerant levels, meaning their pressures aren't right. So 1 out of 10 is installed properly with both of those being in line. At Tillman's, we're proud to be the one that's going to do it right the first time. If you start closing your vents off, now you've changed the static pressure inside that unit, so the air moving across that coil is now slowed down, so it's not getting that full moisture removal, and we're also not removing all that heat that we could. If you're not using a room, opening the door is a better way to do that. Let that ventilate out and help the rest of the home instead of keeping that door shut and you walk in and go, oh, it's super hot in here, I'm shutting this vent off. You're actually hurting that system, making it work harder than it needs to.
How often do you need to clean that duct work?
EPA says 7 years. So we have a duct cleaning machine. We can come out, we run it through there. It's got a HEPA filter. It spins at 2,800 RPMs. It's got a 4-inch hose that'll go through any size. We change the head of the bristle to the diameter of the duct. It spins, knocks the dirt down. We turn it the opposite way, pull it all out, shot back it as it comes out. So it's a complete process, one shot.
So you're not getting all that dust in the house.
Right. We're catching it
more than you're
duct.
already getting before you clean it.
Right. We want to get it all out of there, and we want to take it with us.
How often do you need to change that air filter?
I think the air filter should be changed monthly. The electronic filters that I sell is every 3 months. It's a better quality filter that's going to last longer. But if you're buying the disposables from Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, you get that power bill, change that filter out, because that's a true reflection of how hard your unit's working.
Yeah, you're like, it's higher than it usually is. It's time to change the air filter.
Right, because I'm making that thing work a lot harder than it needs to, because it can't breathe the way that it needs to breathe, right?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you are like an HVAC pro, what do you say about folks that are like looking on YouTube for ways to maintain their systems?
So there's a lot of high voltage in those systems. There's a lot of low voltage in those systems. Leave it to the professionals. You can cause a lot of damage by trying to open that system up, do your own things, shorting out wires, losing boards, circuit breakers, blower motors. Leave it to the experts. All my guys have been to classes. They know these units inside and out. They truly are going to come into your home and serve you the best that they can. It's scary when you hear DIYers want to mess with 220 volts, 240 volts. You know, that's a big deal. That's life-threatening. So let the professionals deal with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to do it. I know there are some that are like, you know, it's when it comes to plugging things in and it's not I feel like the socket isn't working and I have like the voltage meter. I'm like, I even get nervous about doing that. So
right.
Like I'm not trying to see what that feels like to get shot 10 feet back because I didn't do it right.
So voltage is scary, but you need to remember 1 amp is what it takes to kill your heart. So if you're working with 120 volts or 240 volts, doesn't matter. 1 amp will throw an arrhythmia in your heart that you can't get out of. So very, very scary if you don't know what you're doing, especially if you're by yourself and something like that were to happen to you. So we just want to make sure, you know, we're being safe.
And you mentioned earlier, but it's worth mentioning again, you have maintenance packages.
Correct.
Do you even offer those for individuals that maybe didn't get their system through you?
I do. And so if I put it in, I'll still service it. And I need to clarify this. So last time I was telling you about my first responders preventive maintenance. So we give all first responders free maintenance for life. It's if you own the home, you get 2 visits a year. Whether I put it in, whether someone else put it in, I just want to maintenance it, make sure you're getting the best out of your system. What I want to clarify is my grandpa was Major Kermit Patton at Gulfport Police, and my grandma corrected me on this, for 40 years. Last time I said 30 years. So I didn't give him all his credit. So
listen now.
I know. Major
10
Kermit
years is a big
Patton,
deal.
That's a big deal. He was there for 40 years. He retired as a major Gulfport Police Department. In his honor, we give all first responders free maintenance for life. We want to serve y'all the same way y'all serve us, and we thank y'all for that.
That's right. Listen, Grandma, I'm glad you called Bob on that.
She did. She got me.
10 years is a long time.
It was. He did a great job.
I mean, when you're looking at 40 years, 10
Right.
years seems like a drop in the pan, but 10 years is a big deal.
It is.
It's a big calling to answer. So listen, if you have questions about your HVAC maintenance, if you may be looking to get a new system put in, if you have an older system, you want them to take a look at it, and there's maybe still some life left in it, give the folks at Tillman Services a call, and they'll get in there and evaluate what you got going on and decide whether or not they can help you with the maintenance or they can get you a new unit, and that conversation can start. Chance, thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you, Chet.
Have a good one.
Thank you for joining us for Expert Alert. We'll feature more experts at the same time next Thursday.